All right, you guys, welcome. Thank you to the powers that be for sharing this with us this morning, right after we made the video. New lawsuit filed against Palm Beach County's mask mandate. Oh, it was priceless. Breaking treason charges served on entire county board after bold. This was a woman, Patriot, in Palm Beach. Um, served them in the county office, which was absolutely amazing to watch. So after watching that, we were able to decipher the laws that was actually in this. You guys can use this. I'll post this in the description below, right? So we already served ours today to the powers that be. Thank you to the powers that be. Attention Office of Interpol, the International Criminal World Court, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, all that is good globally. Um, International Criminal World Court, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines. Donald Trump, a huge thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you, Donald Trump, for sending this to me this morning because I've been asking some questions, right? Also to the United States Federal Trade Commission Antitrust Department. Also to Louis DeJoy, doing business as Postmaster General. Also to the Jay Clayton, doing business as Securities and Exchange Commissioner head, and also Joseph Otting, doing business as the head for the Comptroller of Currency, and all that is good globally, right? The Interpol, and also the Federal Bureau of Investigations head and the Fraud Department heads, right? I come to you in good faith in one's proper person as a living flesh and blood, sentient being, Suri Jury, Suri heirs, heir to the world's vast estate. Moabite, Hittite, Canaanite, Queen, Westmoreland County, non-domestic, non-resident without the United States, Indian country, Timbuktu, Northern Mariana Islands, Morocco, Maghreb, the North Gate, the American continent, the entire globe. Port payee, postage prepaid, Jamaica Republic, 114 RLUPU on Her Majesty's Secret Service with one's clearinghouses number and AA222141, tax immune, tax exempt as heir to the world's vast estate, 449-59344 to settle and discharge all purported debt, also known as taxation. One must use the duty to accommodate for one here, made disabled by the said treason agents doing business as Jesuits, under the KKK Act as members, Freemasons, what have you. Thank you to the powers that be for sharing these laws with one here. Today, I'd like to start with a prayer. Heavenly Father God, we pray. We ask for protection, a hedge of protection around each and every one globally that is helping us to get free. Donald Trump, the Army, the Navy, the military, and the Marines. October 14, 2020, new style, written in the nature of discovery. Attention Office of Lona Brown. Miss Lona Brown doing business as administrator for this territory and all the parishes across this territory and the globe. All county head officials, mayors, what have you, governors, what have you, agents doing business as governors, mayors, what have you, and administrative heads, and all county heads. Mr. Robert Hill, doing business as town clerk, St. Andrew, Kingston. Miss Carrie Chambers, doing business as Portmore Municipal Council head, chief administrator officer. Mr. Winston Palmer, Trelawney Parish Council secretary, doing business as secretary manager. Miss Judy Lawrence, doing business as Hanover Parish Councils, doing business as secretary manager. Mr. Gerald Lee, St. James Parish Council secretary manager. Mr. Roberto Moore, doing business as mayor for Sablamar Parish and municipality, Westmoreland County as well. Miss Faye Newville, doing business as Portland Parish Council secretary manager. Mrs. Opal Barry, Westmoreland Parish Council secretary manager. Mr. Alfred Graham, doing business as St. Anne Parish Council secretary manager. Mr. David Gardner, doing business as St. Elizabeth Parish Council, doing business as secretary manager. Also Mr. Errol Green, doing business as St. Thomas Parish Council secretary manager. Mr. Rowan Blake, Clarendon Parish Council secretary manager. Mr. Michael Morris, St. Catherine's Parish Council secretary manager. Mr. Doan Johnson, Manchester Parish Council Acting Secretary Manager, also Ms. Carmen Samunda, St. Mary Parish Council Secretary Manager, all agents and assigns, the mayors, what have you. Notice to agent is notice to principal, notice to principal is notice to agent, and all heirs and assigns in charge of this territory known as Northern Mariana Islands, Jamaica Republic, Indian Country, Morocco, Maghreb, the North Gate, and the globe at large, and the entire earth for said harm caused to the people and said heirs nationals like ourselves here. Reubenite Tribe Chief American Indian Lodi Talamorsh American National for said treason action stated herein. Also for the genocide going on currently, that must be stopped. Donald Trump and all international authorities, they're giving the youth here carte blanche, the ability to scam, and with the scamming comes this excess wealth. Wealth comes other things such as drugs and guns, and then they start to harm each other and take out each other through genocide that way, known as the organ harvesting, probably for adrenochrome and a lot of other issues. So go now, charge up the hospital heads, the funeral parlor heads, all the agents involved, collecting all the insurances at the top for that, so the genocide can stop. Right? The people are being harmed as well in their private business. Several people have gotten robbed and killed within the past week, as you know, as you heard today. And so go now, restore those remaining family members and the peoples whose stores were robbed, and yeah, restore that for us now. All right, notice to align with the U.S. Constitution, also known as the Iroquois Confederation. This night, you have 10 days from the receipt of said to honor the Constitution as listed above, or face treason charges internationally for violation of your oath of office, as you all have taken an oath to the supreme law of the land, which is an organic constitution, the U.S. Constitution, the Iroquois Confederation, in order to trade on our lands globally. Notice to agent is notice to principal, notice to principal is notice to agent, and to all heirs and assigns. I come to you in good faith, for here and for the record, making a special parent, Surrey jury, Surrey heirs, heir to the world's vast estate, Reubenite Tribe Chief, American Indian, Aloli Talamorsh, American National, UCC 1-308, without recourse, all rights reserved, for all Commonwealth, Indian Country, aka the Caribbean, Haiti, Trinidad, Barbados, Cuba, and the entire globe, Brazil, you name it, we're covering it in this affidavit notice that we're serving to all for the said mask amendment and the mask mandate and the lockdowns, as the poor people are now starving. The poor people, as you know, here in this territory and globally, are able to go on the roads daily to access, whether it's seniors or what have you. The people in turn are able to share with them as they see them walking around. As a result of the fact of the lockdowns and all the masks and that, they haven't been able to go on the road, hence starvation now. So, yeah, people are being harmed, and so we're putting this forth for everyone globally. Those of you in need of this document can email us at themullings@gmail.com for it. We will share it with you. The entire earth land, as the U.S. Constitution, the Iroquois Confederation is the supreme law of the land, and has been violated, as I've been violated in the past, as most agents, as per the do not detain affidavit, the birth certificate, right, which is now authenticated. So I put that forth in this document as well too, and has been violated. I've been violated in the past, as you know. Most agents have already been served and forewarned of all the supreme laws in the land by one here, as they are to honor the 1787 Treaty of Peace and Friendship and the said United States Constitution, as Jamaica is in fact a franchise under the parent company, and so are all these other so-called corporations listed as countries globally, right? They all have to abide by the Constitution, and President Mr. Donald J. Trump is in fact the chief executive officer and now doing business as president, which they must adhere to and honor, right? The United States Constitution, as Jamaica is in fact a franchise under the parent company, the United States, which with the current president and chief executive officer being Donald Trump. Thank you, Donald Trump, for all your support to us here. The mask ordinances are based on the whims of the de facto agents doing business as private agents, pretending to be public governance, pretending to be licensed doctors, pretending to be law enforcement, operating under the United Nations, doing laws on the sea, on dry land, not common law, which goes against us heirs here, which is common sense. We use common law all day, every day, and look at the science, which looks at the science behind all such as poison masks and things that are put on the market, which we've already made public here by the grace of the Almighty God that was shared with us recently on our videos and stuff. So you can use one's YouTube channel, Noble L2 and Noble L, for the full details, laws, etc., science on said masks, lockdowns, fraud, treason, genocide, war crimes against humanity, etc., filed against mandatory mask mandate and lockdowns globally as it's affecting our entire tribe, which is on the entire planet. As per the CDC and the World Health Organization, hence all stated here publicly for all globally, as we accept as disabled heirs holding one's, we still hold one's birthright and one's status as heirs, already proclaimed on the record publicly as indigenous, the original indigenous people to the land globally. Where is the evidence to back up said claims? I just served a non-negotiable notice of complaint. This non-negotiable notice of complaint is being filed today, Tuesday, October 14th, 2020, at the Board of Counties meeting in, this says here, it was originally in Palm Beach, Florida, right? So this is the county. I just put county, Jamaica. The non-negotiable notice of complaint is to inform the Westmoreland County Mayor, Mr. Bertel Moore, the following violations. You are all under violation. You are all under violations and operating outside of, you've all done violations operating outside your oath of office, and both the Jamaica State and the U.S. Constitution, you are all acting outside the authority of your office and do not have the governing authority to shut down um, Jamaica. This is Jamaica State. All right, so served via several processes, including the international authorities. The violations you are all under, yeah, you violated the your oath of office and both the Jamaica Constitution and the U.S. Constitution, because all the constitutions you guys have to follow the organic constitution, no matter how it's worded. If it's worded incorrectly, they have to fix it. As the Constitution is, the U.S. Constitution is the supreme law on the land globally, right? You are all acting outside your authority of your office and do not have the governing authority to shut down Jamaica, Westmoreland County, or the globe, as per said mandate, mask mandates. Anything you are, or anything you are all in violation of the said Constitution and the constitutional laws, and of, yeah, on the people at large who have unalienable rights. You are all in violation of the following codes: 18 U.S. Codes 241, 18 U.S. Codes 242, 18 U.S. Codes 245, 18 U.S. Code, let's see, 1962, 18 U.S. Code 1031, 18 U.S. Code 1038, 18 U.S. Code 1341, 18 U.S. Code 42, 18 U.S. Code 1983, 18 U.S. Code 42, U.S. Code 1985, U.S. Code 42, U.S. Code 3617. This is an official notification of violations. You need to understand that no one is above the law, and legislative laws, no one is above the law. And legislative laws are under 42 U.S. Code 1986. We are the people, living flesh and blood, sentient being. Suri Juris Suri Eris, heir to the world's largest and state, American Indian, Moorish American National, Reubenite tribe chief, Empress, God, Angel, Moabite, Hittite, Queen, Angel in Latin, Rubus, red rose, asexual seed plant, and lawful America are serving you. With this notice order demand, went too far. We demand, command, and order and require you now all. We remind you of your oath of office, um, as said Jamaica public servants and all public servants globally, um, to not protect the people or to violate your oath of office or to go against the Constitution or to violate the guarantees of the people is an act of treason. Let us have no more talk on unconstitutional acts imposed by the state government simply because you do not have the authority to do so. And if it or they pass unlawfully, the people or heirs or heirs who are part and parcel, we heirs are part and parcel with said agents doing business as governance globally, as said Jamaica, aka Indian country, Morocco, Maghreb, the North Gate, Timbuktu, etc., will have the right to implement American jurisprudence 16 AM Jur 2D sections 177 2D section 256. A general misconception is that any statute passed by legislators bearing the appearance of the law constitutes law. However, the U.S. Constitution is a supreme law on the land, and any statute to be valid must be in agreement. It is impossible for both the Constitution and a law violating it to be valid. It is impossible for both the Constitution and a law, um, any law violating it to be valid. One must prevail. The general rule is that an unconstitutional statute, though having the form and name of law, is in reality no law, but it is wholly void and ineffective for any purpose, since unconstitutionality dates from the time of its enactment and not merely from the date of the decision. So, branding it an unconstitutional law in legal contemplation is as inoperative as if it had never been passed, as well as in American jurisprudence 16 also states that any unconstitutional act of an official will at least be a violation of the oath of that official to execute the duties of his office, and therefore grounds for his removal from office. No official immunity or privileges or rank or position survive the commission of unlawful acts. If it violates the rights of individuals, it is also likely to be a crime. Violation, you need to understand this. No one is above the law. I'm saying this twice for a reason. And legislation on obligation under 42 U.S. Code 1986, a duty to prevent a wrong from being done. You have not done that. And 18 U.S. Code 1621, citing the neglect to protect the by individual under oath. 16 American Jurisprudence 24, Section 98. While an emergency cannot create power and no emergency justifies the violation of our provision of the United States Constitution or the United States of America, no emergency has just cause to surpass the Constitution or the people at large. Unalienable rights from the 16th American Jurisprudence Section 177, the general misconception that any statute passed by legislators bearing appearance of law constitutes the law of the land. The U.S. Constitution is a supreme law of the land, and any statute to be valid must be in agreement. It is impossible for both the Constitution and law violating it to be valid. One must prevail. Any court, government, and or government officer who acts in violation of an opposition or contradiction of the foregoing by his or her own actions commits treason and includes a self-executing Section 3 of 18 of 14th Amendment and vacates of the 14th Amendment and vacates his or her office. Yeah, and this so-called scamdemic is not as deadly as it's been claimed, as the World Health Organization and the CDC. The CDC has I basically put it down to the common cold, and the World Health Organization has now, the agents there are now stating to all heads in all states to lift said lockdowns, right? Um, so, yeah. Hence, we heirs or diplomats holding the highest diplomatic office, AA 222141, we're not subjects, ward slaves under the so-called Jamaica. However, we as heirs are commanded to study law and be active and not passive. Those of you who are Moors and heirs, go and claim your nationality at rbbaypublications.com. Yeah, in the face of a wrong. Treason, third section in the 14th Amendment. You are served a non-negotiable notice of complaint filed today, October the 14th, 2020, new style. The non-negotiable notice of complaint, the administrators are all under and operating outside of your oath of office and do not have the governing authority of your office to do any said lockdowns or do any said mask mandate, all in violation of the Constitution. No emergency has just cause to suppress the supreme law of the land or the organic Constitution or the U.S. Constitution and the people at large. The U.S. Constitution is the supreme law of the land. You are in violation of the laws, 18 U.S. Code, and then they just repeat the codes here that I just mentioned, right? The 14th Amendment, Section 3 says no person shall be a senator or a representative in Congress or elector or president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who have previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection. Intentional office of international authorities use the Insurrection Act if need be to make sure this is put into practice immediately, right? So that people are free globally. In insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, but Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. General rule is that it's unconstitutional, you guys. But it's wholly void and ineffective for any purpose, since unconstitutionality dates from this time of its enactment. This basically says the same thing. So liberally construed, the special powers vested in the chief executive as sustain and effectuate the purpose of thereof. According to 16 AM Jur 2D Section 258. On the other hand, it is clear that Congress cannot authorize or ratification give the slightest effect to state law or constitution which is in conflict with the Constitution of the United States. You may contact me at themullings@gmail.com. So notice to agent is notice to principal, notice to principals, notice to agent to all heirs and assigns, ordering each to vacate their offices. You have 10 days to comply. or else we're demanding your bonds be pulled and the international authorities come in and remove them forcefully from office globally. By Angelina L., also known as Noble Honorable Ange Alina D. Alfred L., Reubenite Tribe Chief, American Indian, Allodial Title Moorish American National, UCC 1-308, without recourse, all rights reserved. I stand by the Book of Ruth by my deceased organ harvest husband, Jackson. In the name of Almighty God, CC all international authorities globally, International Criminal World Court, the Universal Postal Union heads, Jay Clayton doing business as Securities and Exchange Commissioner, Joseph Otting doing business head for the Office of Comptroller of Currency, William J. Wilkins doing business as head for the Internal Revenue Service, 1111 Constitution Avenue, Washington, D.C. Criminal Investigations Division, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marine heads, Donald Trump, the Chief Executive Officer for the United States Corporation, is president for all said franchises globally doing business as Haiti, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and all the Caribbean islands, and the entire globe. Also known as Indian Country, Timbuktu, Morocco, Maghreb, the North Gate. Louis DeJoy doing business as Postmaster General, United States Federal Trade Commission, Antitrust Department, heads, Federal Bureau Investigations heads that are good, Interpol in France, and all for all national heirs. Also, I want to add that today, as you know, we saw what looked to be a bag on the side of the road where it was really busy, only to discover it was a homeless man sitting there. So you need to get the agents who are working at the infirmary to go and pick up the homeless people so they can get a really good meal to eat and some fresh clothes. And they should not be on the roadway, especially at the wee hours in the morning that we saw, because we couldn't actually see that it was someone actually lying down in the road. So you need to go and pick them up now. All the ones that are naked, the ones that, all the ones on go and help them now. Thank you for that. Now, so what we did here, let me see if I can bring it up. We served this with the 2-cent stamp. And then what we did was we put one on the very last page. On the back, in the center of it, we put a stamp there as well too. So, yeah. The total is 6 pages. We had to scan it a particular way, so it looks like a lot. All right, so those of you in need of support, remember you guys to give these videos a thumbs up. Remember to share far and wide. Remember to put a comment below. I wanted to read some of the comments though. Peter, I'm going to read those probably in the next video. Thank you to everyone for your support to us here. To support us here, you guys go to PayPal at themullings@gmail.com. We greatly appreciate it. For those of you with ticket citations, mortgages, foreclosures, those of you with utilities, auto loans, student loans, and for those of you in for non-violent offenses, you can email us for the GSA bond templates to set off the matters, and then do the 1099 OID to get back the finances they claim that you owed. We did it, the 1099 OID. It took us a year though, you guys. Some people said it took them only like a week or two. I didn't get that experience, but the powers that be, we had to write to a few times for some laws to use, hence the true bill and all the documents they sent and shared with us here, the 8281, 3949A, the 1040, the W, how to get an EIN, 98 EIN number, thank you for that. So you guys can write to us for all that at themullings@gmail.com. We do ask for donations for our time and our research. I want to speak this one into existence now. Tokolo takaranai tikere takaranai e takarano tokoloi takaranai nono ko e takaranai tikina he takaranai nana ko o takarala taka nina naka takarano tokono ina naka ina naka take nono ko e takarala taka. It's very hard to watch today, you guys, to see that gentleman on the side of the road like that. We just didn't expect to see that, you know. Um, so it seems Pelosi is losing her natural mind. Um, yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out all at the same time. So I'm going to put this in the description below. Treason charges served on entire county. Breaking treason charges served on entire county board after bold Patriot in Palm Beach has enough. Yeah, people can't take it anymore because, yeah. Peter says, watch Nancy Pelosi lose her mind on CNN in an interview with Wolf's Trump's broken her. She was telling Wolf, though, that, yeah, CNN was being, I want to say soft on Donald Trump, which they're not. I've watched a lot of their interviews and talks on him, and they're not, yeah, for him at all. Yeah, people are reporting that Nancy Pelosi had relationships with Don Cornelius for years, and who was the head for the Soul Train for 10 years. Thank you, Jennifer Rose, for that. She dated Don Cornelius for 10 years. They said she was on a lot of stuff, apparently, and she was possibly in or involved or knew the Manson gang. Don't know how true that is. Thank you, Albert Jackson. Commented, Shalom, Shalom, thanks for dropping the nuggets. Peter says it's happening. Crimes going public as we get closer to October 17th. JFK, JR reveal. Yeah. All right. So you guys like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day. Go and do the research. Don't take my word for it. You can write to us for what we just read. We'll share a copy with you for those of you in need of it. And yeah, you can email us here at themullings@gmail.com. For our book, Time is the Master, Time is the Key, the Chain to the Sky book for U.S. postal money orders, and also for the international promissory notes, international bills of exchange, and for the fraudulent conveyance of language laws, the do not detain affidavit, the IRS status correction, and a whole host of stuff you guys hear us talk about here. International authorities, FBI agents, Interpol, any errors that you see in what we just sent to you, just correct it on our behalf for me, please. As you know, I have some eye issues here, and sometimes I don't see as clear. So thank you for that, and thank you to the powers that be again. I just want to put a hedge of protection around everyone globally who are out there helping all of us to get free from this tyranny. Like, share, subscribe, you guys. Have yourself a great day.